Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm Captain Nips, and today, another new day, and we get to play with the new toys. Yesterday, I kind of just walked through all of the changes and whatnot from Beta Phase 1 to Beta Phase 2. Today, and it even saved it. I was in here tinkering earlier. It's time to play with some Firestarters. Firestarters! For those of you that haven't stared at the stat lines. 4 flamers, pair of machine guns, and a pair of medium lasers. Whole bunch of jump jets. Decent speed, decent armor. It's a light mech, 35 tons, so you know you get what you're sized at. Reasonably expensive for a 35-ton mech. Let's just look at the cost pile here. So you've got your Panther, 3.1 million, Firestarter 3.6, Jenner 3.9. So it's kind of in the middle of the variants we have so far, and it's definitely because it's a 35-ton versus the 25 and the 20s and the urban mech that's unusually cheap because its engine is tiny. Yeah, comes in reasonably expensive, but not terribly so. So, I'm going to launch with a lance of these guys, and I'm going to try and shut some guys down with flamers, and I'm going to basically be a pain in the tuchus. So, what do I want for pilots, though? I think Paradise is a good choice. Evasion, Angel of Death, since it's the only way to get it right now. Thank you, Hairbrained. Firestarters have jump jets, so that seems like a good match. And then after that, Arclight doesn't seem like a bad choice. I could probably use the bonus initiative at some point, depending on how I have the enemy team set up. I think the rest of the team, what I really want going on here, let's want Blockade. Ideally, I guess what I'm kind of hemming and hawing over is I really just want as much evasion as I can get, because even though evasion has kind of taken a nerf bat to the face, it's still pretty good. It doesn't hurt to have it, and versus some of these other skills that are going to be maybe less useful for this particular match, you know, things like multi-target, bulwark. I don't know that I'm going to be sitting still a lot. Although it doesn't hurt to have just a good pilot. There's too many guns for precise strike or breaching shot, is what they're calling it now, for this to be. I've got like 8 guns on this mech. None of them are big, so breaching shot's not very good. Multi-target might not be the worst thing if I want to fire my flamers on something nearby and shoot my medium lasers at something in the distance, but that seems like such a niche application to be kind of a... I feel like I might be wasting my time there. What's Arclight's gunnery look like? Where are you? Gunnery 3. You're not a brawler. I'm sorry, but you're not a brawler. So we're gonna go get somebody that knows how to fight. There we go. So yeah, I guess we'll just roll it at that, unless we grab somebody like Ozone or Showboat. You know what? I'm going to grab Ozone. And I'm going to grab... screw it. I'll grab Showboat. We'll see what we can do with pilots whose gunnery are questionable. On the other side, I don't want to fight against this lance. Mostly because the way this lance is going to play out, these guys are going to hang back. These guys are going to push forward. I just don't want to deal with these guys in the back flinging autocannon rounds at me. I can deal with them. I think I've proven that, like, I can fight, I can punch up, but I just don't want to deal with that annoyance today. Commando Panther, Centurion, we played against that yesterday. Here we go. Well, let's give and receive. We'll get a little bit of Firestarter action coming back at us. Griffin Jenner, Firestarter Locust. I like this. And then, just to exacerbate the pain that will be inflicted by all these flamers. I think we're going to go... I want to go to Death Valley. And Windy Day. Why not? So we got our Firestarters, we got our pilots, we got our enemy, we got our match. Let's make this happen. So for those of you that have watched the Flamer video I did earlier during Beta Phase 1, those were with hacked-in files, so clearly the stats were not final. But it showed that if the current iteration of Flamers are anywhere near like that was, we'll be shutting down mechs pretty much left and right and locking them down in a hard lock situation. So let's just back up, back out, zoom out, check the place. Haven't been here since the beta patch. Doesn't look like anything's changed. So let's get moving.
What are your orders, Skipper? I'm there. You have orders. Don't need to tell me twice.
So as you can see, Flamer down here in the weapon list, 5 damage, 10 heat damage. It's a nice, succinct way of demonstrating in your weapon loadout how that works. Let the enemy lance go. I'm curious next to see a whole 3 ammunition. Huh. Well, that's going to be interesting to try and figure out how to use. Maybe we won't be shutting things down this game. Only one way to know is to try.
Ready to rock.
That's good. Let's get our lights moving. Actually, you know what? Depending on where this fight goes, I think I might try and push up into the hills over here on the right, because there are some rocky protrusions to hide behind, and then there's these trees that I might be able to use for cover. I don't want to just sit around and wait. I'm not interested in waiting today. So I think I'll cut hard right through the crystal field here. I should see the enemy start to pop up this turn, because Locust Jenner is reasonably fast. Do. Yep. Oh. And one of them has the strategist skill.
Yep. Got it. Yep.
So as with yesterday's game, I mentioned that if you watch up here, notice the little eyeball icon. As I'm moving my movement location around, you can see the eyeball pop up when the enemy mech has line of sight on me. So that indicator is fantastic. So we'll make sure not to move out completely into line of sight just yet. No sense giving the enemy team some unwarranted, some unforced errors in terms of indirect fire. I don't need missiles raining on me quite so soon.
Waiting for orders.
Three ammo. I'm super curious now what this 3 ammo indicates. Does it literally only have 3 shots?
How might I help? As you wish.
When I fire all 4 of these flamers, is it going to only fire 3 of them and this number goes 0? Is it a shared ammo pool? Is that an ammo pool per gun? Does that mean a flamer only has literally 3 rounds of fire before it is used up? I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not going to waste my flamers on this Locust. This Locust is going to eat all of the machine gun and medium laser fire that my lance has to bring to bear. So let's start in the back with who's got the worst evasion number.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Showboat. I'm just going to turn these off for the moment because this guy is kind of just a... Ooh. Make sure we can... There we go. Move to a spot where we can shoot at him.
You betcha.
This locust is kind of perfunctory. I just need to remove it as an ongoing concern. Showboat, your numbers are garbage. Garbage.
Affirmative.
Taka taka taka. Do love the machine guns though. Snuck a couple of things through. That's interesting. Oh, okay, it wasn't my turn. I was wondering, like...
Standing by.
I got confused all of a sudden there about what was going on with the initiative order. Alright, so... 55s and 45s. What's a man got to do to get better numbers? 55s, 45s, 55s. Okay, so it's just a matter of all of these modifiers, I think, stacking up is why these numbers are garbage. Let's see. Target move +6, so there's the evasion. Arm-mounted weapon accuracy, that's, thank you, medium lasers, and now new modifier for being in the arms. Which is kind of neat. Like, giving the weapons that are arm-mounted a bonus to hit because they're in a slightly more fragile hit location is an interesting trade-off. Target size +2, that's not new. Shot modifier plus, yeah. Okay, I think we just shoot. I think we just shoot, and we move on with our lives as we continue to daka 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 this guy to death. Daka daka daka. Snuck in a head hit there. Probably with a single machine gun bullet. That'll be the Jenner moving up. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, seriously.
Internal structure damage.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
Confirmed.
Alright. Let's, for the sake of curiosity, I'm going to continue to pound on the left side of this locust. I am going to engage with the flamers.
Commander.
Because my curiosity can't be sated for that long. Let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so 60% to hit. Movement and size modifiers, arm mounted bonus. Cool. Alright. What is this? Rough terrain. Reduces movement speed, causes units to take extra stability, +4 difficulty to hit units within rough terrain with melee attacks. Oh, that's cute. We'll have to keep this rocky bits of ground in mind in the future for future games. It's not going to matter much right now. I think we just fire. We don't have any heat scale. It's not showing any meaningful heat, so let's see what this does. Okay, so it definitely decremented each individual gun's ammo allotment. It did not treat them as one pool of ammo.
What's the plan?
Paradise, how is it that you are not able to get a shot in here? Here we go. That's what we like. Let's move here. So we're going to save that flamer ammunition. 3 shots is so little. My god. I mean, I get that they don't want people stun locking mechs with flamers like we were doing, like I was doing in the earlier beta phase, but let's, okay, let me put that in the back pocket for now and come back to it later. I want to really exercise this a bit to understand what it is we're dealing with when it comes to these flamers. Because right now all I've really managed to show is that A, I've used up their ammunition. The ammunition is counted on a per weapon basis, which is different from every other ammo bearing weapon system in the game.
Damn it, I've got an armor.
I've also managed to show that, I think, yeah, I mean I generated a little bit of heat on the Locust. It's not a lot. The Locust doesn't really have... What is the Locust doing? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go chase the birdie. Can't quite get close enough. There we go. Want to get close enough that I get the machine guns and medium lasers to fire. Wow, those numbers are garbage.
Roger.
It's got a crazy good evasion value. which is making these shots not likely to hit. But I'm not really generating heat. Hey, and anytime I can sneak a laser through on a locust, it's gonna chunk up some armor. Jenner over here. Huh.
Ready to rock.
There's another light in there. That's right. There's another light in here somewhere. But it's not him. No, whatever. Alright. Let's concentrate on the goal here. Gotta stay focused.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so she can only get to there. Can she fire her? Yes, we can fire it from here. So something that I realized yesterday after I had recorded my video, I was lamenting the homogeneity of the pilot skill values across the board, everything being 8, 5, 4, 3. It struck me last night as I was thinking about it that
Target acquired and locked in.
for a configurable Lance setup where you're playing against other people, it probably is helpful for balance if all of the pilots are kind of built from the same structure of pilot skill. Damn, Blockade is getting wrecked.
Reporting internal damage.
So that when you bring these pilots into the multiplayer beta, then
I'm rolling.
everybody's choosing from the same kind of value proposition across the pilots. You know, it'll change a little bit because of the different skills and the way the numbers are arranged, but the numbers all being the same across all the pilots at least then kind of ensures some semblance of balance. There's no obviously better pilot or worse pilot across the board. So I understand why Sumo got a nerf bat. Still makes me sad for Sumo though. Alright, let's continue to peck away at this now 4-dot evading locust. Ducka, 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 ducka. Takes a bullet.
I hear ya.
Oh, to be able to get in there on melee. But no.
On my way.
This locust is going to be too fast for me to really catch up to and actually probably punch. Or at least it should not allow itself to be punched by me, because that seems like a bad idea. Speaking of bad ideas, firing guns with Showboat. Jeez Louise. This is going to hit him in the back. Or not at all. I like not at all. Not at all is a good place to be. Huh. That move on the part of the locust seems like a really, really bad idea.
Aye, aye.
Let's demonstrate why that's such a bad idea.
Acknowledge.
85% chance to hit on a 45 damage melee attack. That's why. This may just die to a machine gun bullet. Yup.
Mech destroyed.
Locust pilots, don't stand still. I mean, applies to light pilots and pilots in general, but seriously, Locust pilots, never stand still. A, B, M. Always be moving. Okay, so we got our Locust out of the way. So let's work up on the Jenner.
What are your orders?
How do we want to do this? I think I would like to get up into this
I got you.
cover up here and engage in a bit of fisticuffs in a place that I've not really gotten into a fight up on this hill. This is new and exciting. And firing on Paradise. Wow, just we lost some flamers. Boo! Game. Boo. Took that arm off way too easily.
Waiting for orders. Pedal to the metal.
Get up onto the forest. Cover is good.
Reporting.
Paradise. Nope.
understand.
Who have we left behind? We've left Blockade behind, who is kind of dinged up. So here come, oh, large laser.
That wasn't good.
We're fine. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. All right, so
Yep.
let's take a look at what we got
Waiting
going
on you,
on here.
Commander.
Paradise. I don't see any reason to not punch this Jenner right in the face. Let's... Oh, so that's interesting.
Coordinates confirmed.
That is not what I wanted to do, game. Okay. I thought I was backing out of melee so that I could reposition and then click on it. I guess, game. Alright, fine. You know what that means? Bringing all the guns. We're going to just spray you down. Actually, it's worth checking where is he on the heat scale. He's at about half bar heat scale, and he's tiptoeing towards threshold. So let's see what this does. Ooh, those flamers still look pretty. And got a little bit of heat out of it. Okay.
I'm here.
Good to go.
Want you. There we go. Melee attack from there. I want flamers. Use some of that precious ammunition, but I'm curious if we can force this now running hot Jenner. Ooh, rear shot. Tickling him. Seeing some fundamental issues with this, with pilots that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's fine. We got more armor in the back than the front at this point. Except for that section. That kind of... And he split? He multi-targeted? Oh, game. Oh, AI. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you need?
Alright. He's down to 2 flamer ammo. But there is absolutely no reason. Why is... What are we doing here? Alright, I want to make the same mistake twice. I want the game to freak out twice. Alright, so clicking on him, melee move. There are no melee move options available. So oddly, it was showing me, I don't know what it was showing me before when it had the entire movement grid up. Select. Yes, I would like to melee this person. See, and there's the movement grid. That's a bug. That's a bug. Fun. That's cool. Flamers, yes. Machine guns, yes. Punch, yes. All right. Rack his face, please.
Copy that, Commander.
Solid hit to the leg. We like that. Let's see what the flamers do. Heat mech shut down. Cool. We like that. All right. So you can force heat shutdowns on mechs with the flamers still.
Standing by.
This is good. This is good. So I think, let's take a look at this guy. He is hurting from his left side and left rear. Center torso on the rear's got 4 armor. This is definitely left. I don't think I can get a better... position. Also, fucking great when you've got a shutdown mech to shoot on, because look at those percentages. That's delicious. We like that. I'm on the left side. 58 to hit, 58 to hit, 16 to hit. Probably end up hitting the side torso anyway. So let's just confirm that.
Firing.
That's good. Take away half its lasers. It's a solid place to be.
Yeah.
Alright, then.
Skipper.
let's have... let's see.
I hear ya.
Awaiting orders.
Gonna keep the flamer ammo. And I don't wanna punch him from the left. I wanna punch him from the right. I wanna punch him from the front or the left if I can. Actually, you know what? Let's back all the way out. Give me blockade. And what's blockade got? He has evasion, so we need to move him. We want to move him. At least a little bit.
On my way.
It's not going to generate hardly any movement penalty. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Let's just keep firing on the left torso because it's going to damage transfer to the center. Oh, it's not letting me. Can't shoot at things that aren't there, I guess. Right to the CT. That's what we like to see. And his heat sinks bled, so we did not strictly lock the Jenner.
Confirmed.
But we did get it to lose a turn. Save the flamer fuel. Machine guns. Melee. We like this.
I got you.
Punch him in the junk. That is an arm. That is not exactly what I was hoping for. Got an SRM4 crit.
Like that?
Jenner took its turn to turn back on. Yes. So we just need to pound the dickens out of this guy yet and call it a day. So we're gonna move to here with Showboat. We're gonna turn ever so slightly, despite the fact that the Jenner is now powered up. It hasn't moved, so we have great, much improved to hit numbers.
Got it.
And there we go. Take care of the Jenner.
Should have run when you had the chance.
Alright. Now, turning our attention on the stuff in the distance.
Yes, Commander.
Who do we got? We got Paradise. Paradise has evasion, but we're going to be sprinting anyway. Ooh, hello. He's standing on the rock up there. So, there's no reason to necessarily get down into his firing arc. Let's take up position in the trees here.
Moving out.
So, where is their other mech? Use those trees.
Internal structure damage.
Alright.
I'm here.
Oh, apparently this is a forested spot. We'll take it.
Going full throttle.
A little bit closer to the enemy mechs. Seriously, where is this fourth mech? This mystery mech?
What are your orders, Skipper?
Okay, get down behind the rock. Not enough to matter. So, we're going to take up position on the hill and the trees. Trees is good. Trees is fine. Trees is safe. We like trees.
Waiting for orders.
Showboat. Running out of tree line here to hide in. Let's go to here.
Got it. Max speed, no shooting.
Reporting.
Alright, so Paradise had already moved up. Can actually move him well off to a flank. It's not ideal. There we go. 5 dots of evasion there. You don't mind that. Griffin on the hill. Hey, look! There's the brain dead pilot of the other mech. This guy is being smart enough to not actually try and engage. He's standing off. But the wolf pack will not be denied, sir. Sir.
Yep.
Sir. can I interest you in some paperwork on the wonder and the glory that is the wolf pack crawling up your legs? Let's see. We got medium lasers at 80% to hit. My mech is smoking.
I'm on it.
This was probably a bad move. He's got that protected position. I really need to get closer before jumping all over him. Blockade's already beat up, so he's probably going to end up taking an attack. What is going on back here? This mech is overheating or something. Wow, I don't.
Ready to rock.
Guess we'll find out in a little bit. All right, can we get up on him? We can get close. Also, we can break the line of sight in the process.
Commander.
Although, get the feeling Blockade's getting hung out to dry here. Which is not great because he's still got a bunch of flamer ammo I want to use. Let's see if we can give him some other things to shoot at. How badly are you beat up? Paradise, you're pretty badly beat up.
Yes, Commander.
So let's just go to here.
As you wish.
Maybe he shoots on... God, I wouldn't shoot on... No, there's no reason the enemy mech would shoot on Blockade if I were controlling it. Oh, DFA? Ow. I needed that arm. I liked that arm. But now I get to use all of the everythings now. Alright. Hey, Blockade. You're in a great position. You just, here we go. I want to move. I want to... You're not giving me any options at all, game? Really? Alright, fine. 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 I will just stand in place, and I will lambaste you. Also, Blockade's on a stability warning, so that's fantastic. That's fine. He's going to take a hit and die anyway. Clunk. We get the clunk. And we get the cook. Did not really seem to do much. Oh, it's the enemy Firestarter. That's what's going on. He's a putz. Why is his heat? Why is his heat? Why is he? What is going on over here? How about I ignore that for now and move on with my own dastardly plans? I honestly, has he just been jumping full length every turn and has now shut himself down from heat? Oh boy. No options for position. Great 2-hit numbers though. Wow, look at that with Showboat. Except the game isn't letting me see what the modifiers are. Alright, fine. Fine. Fine, be that way.
No sweat.
The Punch Queen herself is coming in.
This is gonna be good.
Oh! That was a headshot. That was a headshot. She just head capped the Griffin. This is not helping me prove anything. Alright. So, oh boy. So, this match has turned out to be less useful in terms of discovering some things about these new Flamer implementations. 2% on the head, that's not even head. This is good. Center of mass. Center of mass.
Accuracy.
Maybe we can try and keep this guy shut down.
Awaiting orders. I understand.
So I guess this would be the test, right? So we've got a shutdown mech. We've got a handful of flamers handy and being applied liberally. I should probably start cold shotting other parts of the mech so I don't just kill the stupid thing.
Battle mech power up detected.
But it did cool itself back off despite... Oh, no. Despite my attacks.
Standing by.
Let's see. Can we get close enough for flamers? No. How about anybody else? Bueller. Alright. That's close enough. Let's go to here. Let's just fire the flamers. Low. He's got four center torso structure. I think I may turn this into a double header because I don't feel like I've learned enough here. That was a good hit. That was helpful. So in that case, he took it on the arm and his heat bar went up by about half, maybe a little less, because I think he might have still had some heat left over.
Yep. Yep.
Ozone is out of flamer ammunition, and as predicted, that stinks. Want to fire on you. I'm gonna turn off the real guns. Actually, you know what? I should maneuver for his right side, for a side, any side. In fact, I could maneuver for his back. He's got armor on the back. No, we want to hit it from the side because then we get legs and arms and stuff. So we'll move here and turn.
Certainly.
Get some eyes on. There we go. Any luck, this doesn't hit the center torso. But it does hit. Okay, got a leg. Got a little tick of heat.
Yeah.
Ozone. Do me a solid and do the same from the other side, please. Oh, that's right. You're out of flamer ammo. Man. You know what? Brace. Fine. We're not losing this match. That's not the issue here. The issue is, what are we trying to learn from this? Can I get there with the flamers? Yes. Right side.
Copy that.
Flame on. Let's light this fire.
Taking a shot.
And we got the CT. Okay, so
Mission successful.
round one, what did we learn here today? 3 shots each for each flamer. 10 heat each for each flamer. Which means that each Firestarter build, each of these canonical little rugrats running around here, can generate 40 heat on a successful attack. We successfully shut down a mech with the flamers, so that's still a thing. That's good. But because of the ammo requirement now, we won't be able to hard lock any mechs down with the flamers. So that's understandable. It's not a great thing to want to put into your game a way to just lock entire enemy teams down with flamers. What else have we learned here today? Kind of want to play some more, so I'm going to go into another round. So that's round one. Headshot the Griffin. I wish I hadn't headshot the Griffin, because that was going to be my test case for something that has a lot of armor but can take the hits. So then we're relying on the flamers to kind of lock him down. Actually, something just occurred to me. How about we do this? 12 rounds, 32 minutes. Yeah. Won this match. No survey. Decline. It just occurred to me. Ooh. Don't blink at me, little icons. You make me think that I could play with you. How about we do this? No mech. Will it let me launch? Will it let me launch with no mech? And then let's put, I don't know, something reasonably robust. I like beating up on Orions. let's pick the lower firepower Orion. There we go. And let's put a pilot in that mech whose gunnery is complete trash. Mockingbird. Your gunnery is complete trash because you bring sensor lock and bulwark. I wonder if the game will let me launch with this. So then let's grab some Firestarters. Firestarter. 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 Oop, that's not it. Firestarter. Cool. Alright. Let's grab some pilots. Paradise is fine. I want pilots with good freaking gunnery skills because I want these shots to hit. Apex. Okay, cool. And let's go, you know what, let's stay on River Crossing this time because we've got kind of a heat neutral. I always, internally, I am assuming that Death Valley is kind of a heat positive map and the frozen maps are heat negative, so that like this is heat neutral. So let's just see, foggy day, rainy day, twilight, sunset, twilight, fine. Will the game let me launch with this? Yes! We've learned another new thing today. We can set up scenarios because the game lets us launch with short lances. That's great. I love that. It's fantastic. Thank you, Hairbrain. Let's do this. Whoa! Alright. Ooh. It's
Lovely landscape here. Simply lovely.
one of those dark maps, but so my apologies for those of you that can't really see what's going on
Order confirmed.
in the video because it's dark on this map, but this is going to be pretty straightforward as I crash up into the enemy Orion and then try and shut him down and lock him out with flamers. So this is basically going to be a sprint right up to where that guy is, somewhere here in the dark. Hey, there he is.
Sensor trace.
That's great. We like that.
Yes, Commander.
Sprint. Can't quite get down to safe parts of the water, so let's at least stay in the forest.
Receiving you.
Get down on the water behind the rock.
Confirmed.
Yep, behind the rock.
Waiting for orders.
Okay. Get down behind the rock here-ish.
Roger, Skipper. Kicking it.
Did she just call me Skipper? I think she just called me Skipper. Alright then.
How might I help?
I thought of myself as more of a Gilligan man myself, but that's fine. It's neither here nor there. Let's see. Can see me, can see me, can see me, can see me. Can't see me here.
Moving.
I'm doing the
Back.
John Cena, you can't see me hand motion in front of my face. Plays well on the radio, folks. Alright. Force him to move down. No, the road's over here, buddy. Ah, crap. Alright, come on, evasion.
Systems holding.
I managed to get out of that pretty clean. Alright,
Standing by.
let's jump this guy. Let's light him up. Let's see. Gotta get a little closer. And I can't actually reach with the flamers. Crap. So I think I need to take another turn or so before I spring the
Moving to position.
flambe trap here. Because I don't want... So what I'm trying to set up here is I want to get all 4 of my mechs in the same turn, take it on top of the Orion, and let loose with the flamers. Because what I want to see is, can you take a mech that's probably at... Yeah, I mean, he's basically at 0 heat. Can you take him to shutdown, which on this mech probably is going to be a little bit more because I think it's got some extra heat sinks floating around. And then once he's shut down, can we keep it locked, or will it get a chance to start back up? And even if it starts back up, if we can shut it down immediately, that's still kind of a soft lock, so that would work as well. So
Standing by.
let's see. Let's go to... Can I get close enough for the flamers? No. No. Alright, so we're going to move here. And there, and brace.
Position confirmed.
As Kraken takes a little Yui there. Okay.
Commander?
Definitely not going to get into range for that. We can get into the forests. I'm a little afraid that the Ryan's going to turn around and just, like, punch murder one of my Firestarters, but I think even with 3 Firestarters on full effect, if he kills one, if he somehow manages to just fluke kill one of them,
I understand.
I'll still be able to get a sense of what's going on with the Flamer situation here with only 3 mechs. Alright, what do you got? Yep. Here comes the punch murder. Dodge it, dodge it, dodge it, dodge it. Wow, that's not dodging it. Holy crap, took that leg clean off.
Commander? I'm hit.
You're fine. Lords. Alright.
Commander?
In fact,
Aye, aye.
where are you? Oh, that's right, you're in you're in phase 3 now. Which is fine, it's still before the Orion. Alright. Let's get up and get this party started on this Orion. Turn in, move. Fantastic 2-hit numbers. We're loving that. Get in behind. Turn on the barbecue.
Firing at enemies.
About half a bar heat. That's good.
Ready for orders.
Likewise, 95% chance to hit.
Target lock. On enemies to 6.
Structure damage heat critical. Okay, so that was 2 mechs
The
worth
plan.
of flamers. Which means this should, assuming most of these hit, push him into shutdown. Heat. Mech shut down. Perfect. Okay. Whoa. Incidental explosions. Alright.
I'm receiving you.
Wildfire, please stand up. And would you
Regain
please...
footing. Good to go.
Well, let's first of all, what kind of movement you got? Basically nothing. Wow, I can't even really turn my mech enough to get him in. So I guess we'll just stand here and lambaste him. 5% chance to hit the head on a shutdown mech. I'll take it because I don't actually care where these hits land, and they're 95% to land. Called shot head. Flames everywhere. Hit some arms and torso. Heat's critical. Okay, cool. Enemy turn.
Battle mech power up detected.
He had enough to turn back on. Okay.
Aye, aye.
So now, what we do, since we know we can get him into a shutdown state, should be able to do it off of only 3 mechs here. So that's what we managed before. Maybe even 2, based on where his heat scale's at. This is the point at which we hit him with the flamers and start to chip through that rear armor with some actual guns. There's one. Just a quick check of where he's at health-wise. 55%. Probably I'm not going to kill him.
Standing by.
Let's just use the flamers for this shot. Nope, I don't want to melee. I want to use the guns.
Confirmed.
This should put him in a shutdown again. Back to shutdown. Cool. And so now we are kind of at our leisure. Granted, this is kind of a test scenario. This is a 4v1. If I were doing this in a real match, this would be to the exclusion of 3 other mechs probably shooting at me. So this tactic, just on like the face of it, is maybe not the best idea. Also,
Yes,
I'm
Commander.
eventually going to run out of flamer ammo.
Standing by.
I just really want to see... I don't want to melee. No, I don't want to melee. What I want to see is... Can we get a double shutdown, essentially? Structure damage. Heat critical? Sure. Like, we're literally melting this Orion. Of course heat's critical. Let's right torso rear on the off chance that we actually do some reasonable damage. That's interesting. I saw a flicker on the arm from the rear.
Battle mech power-up detected.
Okay, so is he gonna stay turned on? Yeah, he managed to get all the way back down to where he was. So let's think about this for a sec. I pushed him into shutdown with 4 mechs worth, so that should have been 160 heat. And then let's say it was less than the full 160. Let's say it was something in the 100. Let's call it 100. And he shut down. He came right back to that. He shut down, started back up, came to this spot on the heat scale. And then in my next turn, with heat on his scale, precisely or approximately this location on the heat scale, I hit him with another 160 heat that put him back up over the top of the heat scale. And then he just repowered up and went back to that same spot on the heat scale. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess that Harebrained, in addition to putting in the ammo cap on the flamers, may have also put in some sort of heat scale cap to prevent the successive overheat shutdown thing that I was seeing in the earlier video in the last phase of the beta. So basically, in that video, for those that didn't watch, I equipped a bunch of Firestarters and Flamers. I had to hack them into the game files. I mean, they were there. I just turned them on. And you could Flamer an enemy unit, cause it to shut down, but have generated so much heat on it that when the unit went to take its turn and power up, it would try and then it would fail because it still had too much heat on the heat scale and would be into shutdown, so it would try to start up and immediately shut down again. I have the feeling that Harebrained may have tweaked the values enough and or implemented some additional system or systemic tweak so that you can't get that double shutdown sequence off of one round of, you know, generating too much heat, or off of successive rounds of generating too much heat.
Target lock on rear lock.
That said,
Waiting for orders.
Let's say for a moment that we're playing the campaign game. If you have, I don't know, let's say let's thought experiment this for a sec. Target him on the right torso.
Good to go.
If you brought, say, okay, I need to step back even a little bit further. Let's assume the Flamers, let's assume that the game implements some sort of hardpoint system so that you can't just stack weapons out willy-nilly onto anything. And you have to try and stay within the weapons profile that's on a given mech. Let's say for a moment Flamers are counted as energy weapons. Let's say you bring the Hunchback variant with the 6 lasers in the hunch and the 3 other lasers, 2 on each arm, 1 on each arm and 1 in the head.
I'm here.
I could see a scenario where you replace, I don't know, let's say you replace like 3 of the lasers on that Hunchback. Say the arms and the head one, upgrade the small laser to a Flamer, right? And you use those as a tactical option to both mitigate dangerous targets like this, and possibly gain yourself some shots at salvage. Because if you can lock a mech down like this pretty handily, what I really should have been doing was aiming for the legs on all those called shots. And if I could just, you know, if we can guarantee ourselves some salvage by like double legging this guy, or give ourselves a better chance for salvage by double legging this guy, that would be a real good way, I think, possibly, to get yourself some extra chassis while you're in the campaign game. Or at the very least, you kill off the legs and you strip the rest of the parts, and all the good stuff's up in the torsos and arms anyway. Alright, let's just kill this guy and end this, because he ain't long for this world. He's got three center torso rear structure. This probably kills him. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Alright. Cool.
Mission successful.
So it looks like Hairbrain tweaked the values on the flamers enough, and or put some sort of hard cap on heat in place such that you can't get 300 heat scale, such that your heat sinks only bleed 100 of it and you're still at 200 heat and you're still overheated even though you just tried to power up. That was the thing I kind of wanted to see from the last match and get a chance. The ammo on the flamers feels a little light. I think 3 shots per flamer is a little low. And I only say that because let's think about this for a minute. Outside of the Firestarter, of the mechs that we've seen so far in the game, and the other proposed mechs that are going to be in the game, most of them don't have flamers. And if they have if they mount any flamers, it's usually not many. There are not many canonical mechs that mount more than, say, 1 or 2 flamers by design. The Firestarter is an exception. The Firestarter was a purpose-built mech intended to be used against infantry, which flamethrowers are real good against infantry, and fixed targets like buildings and forests for lighting them on fire. So of course it brings 4 flamers to the table. But outside of that very specific niche, you don't see flamers on very many mechs. I mean, they're there, they're out there in the world, but it's not like you're going to have a heavy mech with a quartet of flamers, you know, or even maybe even a pair. Like, I don't know that there aren't many heavy mechs that even have a pair of flamers. Oh, by the way, why are they bringing flamers? I mean, if they're bringing them for anti-infantry, usually they would have picked up machine guns instead. If you look at like the Battlemaster, for instance, it's got a bunch of lasers, it's got the SRM rack, and then it's got a couple of machine guns. That's the anti-infantry equipment for that mech. So, with only 3 ammo per flamer, that very much limits the damage you can do, the kind of big picture damage that you can do with the Firestarter. It's certainly capable, clearly, and you just demonstrated, you can certainly shut down a mech. You can lock down a mech for a number of turns very easily with 16 flamers. It's 160 heat damage. That is a lot of damage. So there is probably a niche for the Firestarters in the game right now, and the campaign game down the road. It'll depend on the situation. It'll depend on scenario, clearly. I don't think that you could then trust to do what I did in the earlier video, which was roll 4 Firestarters out and soft lock an entire team and kill them at your leisure, because you now only have 3 shots per flamer. Clearly that's not going to work anymore. But if there is a particular target in the fight that you're in, and you either need to somehow deal with it non-destructively, or want to try and take advantage of it in a salvage kind of manner by just kind of locking it down. I could see bringing a couple of Firestarters, or going back to the rebuilding some mechs thing, if I brought some Hunchbacks that were 6 medium laser triple flamer and used the triple flamers just on targets where it made sense to try and, like, here's a guy, you know, like here's a battle master running up on our line, the rest of their team is kind of hanging back or whatever. I'm going to flamer the battle master, lock it down, and try to wrangle it while the elements of my lance go and deal with the other parts of their team. So we won't know until we get the campaign, for sure. But for now, it definitely seems like Harebrained has put flamers kind of in a place where they belong. They're a small weapon. They have very limited range. They have very limited impact. The ammo requirement now means that they cannot be abused for the length of entire matches. I had 3 shots that took 7 rounds. The only reason it took 7 rounds was because I literally had the Orion surrounded from like turn 2 or 3. I think this is probably a good change. And I think there's probably enough utility left on the flamers when you use them in large enough groups. Like, I could see, going back to the Hunchback example, a trio of Hunchbacks with 6 medium lasers and 3 flamers. That would be 9 flamers for 90 heat. That's probably enough to lock down most mechs in most situations, leaving yourself whatever to fill the 4th slot. I feel like there might be enough utility left there that even with the nerf, that you could probably do some interesting things with the flamer as it stands now. So this was good. This was a good test. We've learned some things. Oh, also, by the way, if as a kind of point of note, Firestarters as a chassis, if we do end up with something like a hardpoint system, replacing these flamers with lasers is real good. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Wherein I and the variant of the Firestarter, the hero variant known as the Ember, but a batch of medium lasers and some machine guns is real good. And 6 medium lasers, I mean, the Ember is 4 medium lasers, 4 machine guns. This Firestarter, 6 medium lasers, 2 machine guns. That's real good. That could be some dangerous territory. That's actually a step better than just a Jenner with 6 medium lasers. But anyway, that's just conjecture and spitballing. Put a note in it. But that'll be all for today for BattleTech in the Morning. I am a very excited and slightly disappointed but mostly satisfied Captain Nips. Wishing you a wonderful day, and I will see all of you in the next video.